Hey, welcome to Cody in the Cinema. Today I'm discussing a few Criterion Collection films that are kind of funny, even if the whole film itself isn't exactly a comedy. In fact, each of these films has serious, kind of even maybe disturbing elements, but I really like each of these. And I just watched, and I was really pleased with, my first time experience with Adam Sandler's Punch Drunk Love, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, using some similar lens techniques to what he did with a sprawling epic and There Will Be Blood, kind of a cinematic film. Surprisingly so, makes great use of the color blue, and it is about Adam Sandler, who is something of a holding it in anger kind of guy, wearing a blue suit all the time, really socially awkward. And this woman comes on to him, played by this Emily Watson, not the Harry Potter known one, but and they kind of hit it off. And there's a little bit of a problem because, well, he's angry, and he has some eccentricities. And unfortunately, he has called a lady of the night for a little phone chat, and then that involves some problems. As Philip Seymour Hoffman plays something of an enforcer, like a reverse bookie. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's a really funny film, and I love this description here. Fueled by the careening momentum of a Baroque futurist score, it adds some sort of tension, a kind of always knocking feeling, kind of an impending doom at all times. It's just a really strong, really fun little film if you're in the mood for something a little quirky. And I think maybe at the time that this came out, people were used to films like, Waterboy and Billy Madison and stuff like that. That's not what this is. It shows off Adam Sandler's really good acting skills, and as well as the person he's acting alongside of there. He's a toilet plunger salesman named Barry Egan. It's like he's he collects these. He's collecting bonus promotions from pudding. It's that kind of a film. He finds a piano, a kind of piano. Like on the road, by the road. It's great. Speaking of a really twisted movie that has a really dark sense of humor, I think I'm going to watch this again. I don't know. This film comes into my mind all the time, as do many David Lynch films. But I was thinking about, really, Eraserhead is so, it's just, this is comedy, right? I think. I don't know. What is David Lynch? Can you ever take a David Lynch film and put it neatly into a category? You couldn't, right? One of the characters in this, he's going through some Okay, this is a cult classic from the late 70s. And our Eraserhead guy here, the reason I'm recommending you see this in terms of it being funny, is he gets, I'm not going to tell you all the plot, but the part I'm specifically talking about, he has to become something of a father. And it's a surrealist film. So the fathering he's doing, there's like a baby, sort of, and he gets roped into this weird relationship, and then when he meets the woman's dad, it's really awkward, and there's some good comedic timing back and forth. And I have never really stopped laughing at this movie. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not. David Lynch he never tells me the rules. Can I, But Eraserhead came to my mind with this kind of, just look at the guy. That's just funny, right? And, so it's a little less dark. The last David Lynch film I watched and did a video about was Inland Empire. A lot less dark than that. But another one. Folks, if you haven't seen Anora, I'm going to push this every so often. I don't really like Anora. This is called Anora. The cover is kind of risque there. But Anora is hilarious. And I think Sean Baker has had some films that are pretty funny. The back description here is interesting. Contemporary cinema's foremost chronicler of American dreamers and schemers hustling on the margins of capitalist promise. Sean Baker. It's definitely there's definitely a little political undercurrent to it, but he has what is called a neo-realist screwball comedy with an aching heart and a Cinderella story. It's got neo-realistic elements for sure. But basically, Mikey Madison, who did, she won the Oscar for this performance, she's a sex worker who ends up with a very childish, very immature Russian oligarch kid or something, and they end up getting married, and then there's some tension with like the rich side of the family, you know, about him marrying a prostitute. And there's this whole long drawn out like violent sequence that's really funny. Again, it's just piece of black comedy one after another. But it's hard to sustain comedy in the way that this film does. And sometimes the comedy is in the dancing, like his reaction to her, and it's hilarious. It's raunchy. I mean, there's a lot of bad words in this movie. I think it might hold like one of the F-bomb records. I don't know. You all can tell me if you think so or not. But I've got the Digipack, and I think it's a really strong sort of like humanist comedy in a way. Like there's, you know, it's rooted in the human experience, as are all these films. But I wanted to put these three together because they're so quirky, you know, in their own way. Each of these three films has a personality. And there are three that I think of when I think of funny movies in the collection that don't necessarily follow like the script, right? I'm not talking about, you know, It Happened One Night. It's a great film, but these quirky comedies. So those were some that I thought of. And again, they're not pure comedies, but you see what I'm getting at. And I wanted to know what yours were. You tell me one that you think might kind of match any of these vibes in the comments. Click like if you could, that thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't, because we cover lots of movie stuff here on Cody in the Cinema.